are listening to The Radiator. I'm your host, Abby BK, and now begins Rocket Shop Radio Hour. We're here with Frank Erickson. Frank, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome to the Big Heavy World studio space. And I believe the last time that at least we saw each other was at the Venetian Soda Lounge.
Yeah, this winter.
For the singer-songwriter competition. So how have you been since?
Ooh, I've been busy. I've been good. The winter ended, and it's summer. It's August already, which is kind of crazy. I've been just writing a lot of music. Past couple weeks, I haven't, but July was crazy. I wrote like 6 or 7 songs in July.
Nice.
So got some to share today, and from the newer stuff, and there's a couple ones I wrote over the winter too that I was thinking about playing, but.
Yeah, you have lots of choices to choose from.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah. So how often do you find yourself writing? Do you find that it's pretty frequent?
Oh, yeah. I got this yellow book. It's in my bag. I don't have it out because I'm not drinking my coffee and writing right now. But usually it's that, or it's at a place where I'm drinking a beer, like a open mic or something. But I find that if I keep the notebook on me, then anytime I have a cool thought or something that's important or poignant, or you have a breakthrough moment, you can just capture it in the book. So it's kind of personal to me. It fits in my pocket nicely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, off air, we were talking a little bit about open mic culture and what that's like in Vermont. And I'd love to kind of ask you a little bit about that. So you've been active at open mics around town in the state of Vermont. So how has that been going, and how has the open mic kind of format helped you out in your music endeavors? Yeah,
it's great. I've been kind of jumping headfirst into this as somebody who's new to the music scene in Vermont. I figure that there's a lot I have to learn, and getting exposure and going to different places is going to help me learn. So I play pretty much every week at Moog's Place in Morrisville. I play at Lost Nation Brewery. They have music there. Usually it's once a month there's a community thing. Some things are up in the air and kind of changing right now, but that stuff's been excellent. And my friend Phil does the sound there, so he's very professional with his sound engineering, so kind of spoiled. It's a little different everywhere. Moog's Place, for example, their host changes. So sometimes you'll have Michael Perry this week, and then other times you'll have somebody else, David Carl Roberts actually hosts there sometimes. So yeah, and I come out here, go to the Venetian. I've been to Drink Bar. Drink Bar's kind of fun too. Victoria Fern hosts there sometimes. But that's quieter. It's less well known, I suppose. But yeah, I felt it's been this great transition of being more of a recording artist to now I feel more of a performer, and that's been kind of a big jump. It's been scary. Sometimes you show up unprepared and the panic sets in. Other times you just find that pocket or the groove, and so I've been chasing after that and trying to capture good moments.
Totally. So when did you make that switch from just recording into being I want to do this, I want to play live and get experience that way?
It had to be when I moved to Eden. So I moved to Eden 2 years ago, and it's you're in a new place, and I didn't really know anything about the place. That I lived in the Upper Valley for 5 years, South Royalton, and I love that part of the state. I have friends there. What a wonderful community. And I just was oh, I can afford to live here. So I moved up to Eden because I could afford it, and that's been a struggle for everybody right now. So I'm really fortunate to have found this place and this wonderful community. I went out to, it was a place that's no longer open, but it was Phil Rosenblum and Dee Davis and Michael Perry and Brian Hamlin were the first people I met. And I came out the open mic and I was I kind of didn't know what I was doing. And they were whoa, dude, it's so great to have you here. I hope you come back out again. You're great. And there's this really funny moment. My friend Brian, who loves bluegrass, he sees me playing the mandolin, and I don't play bluegrass, and he was he didn't know, and he's oh, hey dude, because you got a mandolin, you play bluegrass? And I was no, not at all. And it was I don't know. It was this funny moment that we shared of like, no, I don't at all, actually. I do like indie, folksy, like kind of music. And it's sort of its own unique thing. I don't know if anybody else plays mandolin and sings like I do, but I have a lot of great influences, and I aspire to be creating like beautiful music. And so I've had fun doing it live.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So how do you feel like you've kind of grown as an artist throughout those like past 2 years starting to gig at these open mics?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, part of it's learning the industry, I think, and part of it's learning this other skill set that I didn't have. Like the sound is like in my heart and in my head, but like it's like you're out in this expanse of the public, and then you're being scrutinized, or you're being observed. That's like really the biggest thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's like managing fear and keeping consistent and like quieting the noise. And yeah, it's like a hurdle or a challenge or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Any like rituals or tips and advice for anyone for, putting yourself out there and calming the nerves?
Oh, the square breathing, when you breathe in for like I don't know, it's like 5 seconds, and you breathe out for like 5 seconds, or maybe it's 10 seconds. I think
Nice.
You shoot for like 10 seconds or something, and then that really helps. But also like I like having my tokens. I have like all these things I carry in my pocket, but that can be a double-edged sword, because then if you like lose your token thing,
You think it's like doomed.
like then you're
No.
you're like without power then. It's
Right.
like, where'd it go? I'm like, my magical crystal, all the magic's gone. But like, the magic's inside,
Yes.
inside me, and that it's just a token of what the magic is. So
Right. Well, do you want to take people through what your tokens are? Like, I feel like you need to now.
Right here I have
I love this.
I have a Herkimer diamond from my friend Phil, which is great. And they're special because it's a quartz, and I guess in Herkimer, New York, they were formed on like a ley line or something. So people who are like all heady with the spirituality stuff, they're like, oh, this is like very significant. It's geologically significant, but also spiritually so. This is a green paperclip. This paperclip has been on my coffee table for a while, and I just like, oh, well, this is like, it's become part of me now because it's on my coffee table, and it's like one of my friends. I'm lonely. I live up in the woods by myself, and it's like the SpongeBob thing. He's like, oh, the whole gang's all here.
Yep.
Penny, paperclip, and used napkin.
Oh my gosh.
And Chip.
I remember that episode.
Yeah. And this next one's the butt of my mandolin. My friend Brian helped me replace the pickup, and he drilled the hole, so I kept the butt. And this bent nail is from installing it. And, you stick it in the F-hole and like leverage the piezo with the sticky stuff onto the top of the instrument.
Love it. So do your tokens change, or are they always your tried and trues?
Oh, yeah, they do change. And I lose them too. And then that creates panic, but then the
Bad
panic
karma.
subsides, and you get new ones eventually. But, they're meaningful in some ways. Like, I like to think of like my life as like a book and chapters, and right now we're in like chapter 7. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see like every now and then I'll have a post, and it'll be like the catch-up post, and it'll be like chapter 7. It's like I'm all dramatic about it, but like it's kind of important to set those like intentions, because it's important. Like the times of your life that change, and documenting them in some way, or like remembering the lessons of yesteryear and bringing them into the future.
Yeah, you should catalog all of your tokens throughout the years as well.
Yeah.
Add those to your posts, maybe.
I really should think back to all the ones that I've had. I've lost most of them.
Yeah,
That's a bummer.
definitely. Well, that's all right. Seems like you have some great, meaningful ones giving us some
yeah.
good juju for tonight.
I'll lose these two. They're on their own journey,
Right.
independent of me.
Yeah. Well, we would love to hear your first song. So what have you got for us?
I guess I'll play this song. It's called The Cult of Pretty Girls. And I wrote this, I guess, the end of June, beginning of July. So, yeah. cheeks. I'm holding my breath and bracing my chest. Soon as you melted in my arms, you took all my fears away. They're gone. You stunned me when you came along. I'm in the cold of pretty girls. You took my fears away. They're gone. You stunned me when you came along. Michael Berry came back to town. So we went out to play our songs all night long. As long as we're together, we'll never be alone. In the cold of pretty girls. You took my fears away. They're gone. You stunned me when you came along.
The Cult of Pretty Girls, Frank Erickson. All right. Well, I would love to know a little bit more about your background in music. So how long have you been playing your instrument or playing any instrument and also songwriting?
I grew up playing a violin and orchestra, so I played that from like 4th grade through 12th grade, and it's the same like tuning as a mandolin.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
years later, as I was never like a really good violinist, I'm the middle child. Both of my brothers are like really talented trombonists. They're like really good. They were both in like, like the Empire State Youth Orchestra in New York.
Wow.
They're like really talented trombonists. They played when they're in college, and like they do all this like fancy, orchestral band jazz stuff. And I was like, oh, like I was never that good, and I'm not sure if it was that they worked harder at it or they just had this natural skill with it, and I never felt like I had that. But I always loved music and I loved singing. Never did chorus because you can't pick the songs. So it's
Right,
like,
yeah.
as a singer, it's like I don't want to sing something I don't care about or like doesn't have meaning to me. So then I just came back to it later on when I was like struggling with things in life, and I was like, oh dang, like I need an outlet, and music was my outlet, and it's something I've developed skills at in furtherance of that outlet. It's just it's a beautiful way to express yourself and to like process the world around us, because the world that we live in obviously is like kind of crazy and absurd. Increasingly so, like today in America and other parts of the world, in a big part because of America and like the good things and the bad. A lot of the bad right now, but yeah. So it must have been like when I was in school, like I don't know, like 7 years ago, I started like writing. I like rap too. Like I do like hip hop stuff. So like that's really where I started. It was like, you know, like chip on my shoulder. I was like not super happy, and it was a great way to like, you know, use like, you know, my brain and like my passion and like things that like oh, that bully picked on me, and like I'll show you because I got something clever to say. And then it like, you know, transformed over time. Like I had some friends that were really like influential, like my friend Nick and my friend Carlson. They were both, you know, singer songwriters and had some training, and they were like, oh dude, like, you know, like you're great, like keep doing it. And I liked what they were doing, and we collaborated a little bit. At least me and my friend Carlson, we had this like project we worked on together and shot ideas back and forth during the pandemic. And so really it was like, it wasn't the pandemic that spurred it, it was before that, but that was a pretty transformative time. And so I've been just chipping away and grinding and just keep on writing. And I can't keep up with the recording, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, interesting how your like genre of writing has changed. So do you feel like the like style and genre that you have kind of eased your way into now is kind of your zone and where you hope to stay, or are you open to trying other like genres at this point in time?
Genre is a word used by record companies to sell things.
True.
I don't want to be like put in a box, but obviously these are like lenses we can look through to, you know,
make
describe
sense of things. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm locked in. I find myself like, I just got a drum kit. One of my friends, Ty, he's like found a drum kit for me. I was gonna like try and like pay him to borrow his drum kit. He's like, oh no, do this one on Craigslist, and he like found it and bought it. He's like, if you don't want this, I want it. And so like, I think I might sell it back to him at some point, because I'm not like, it's not gonna be my main thing. But I'm still growing a lot, and I do some stuff that's like more like pop punky, like folky pop punky stuff, and I do more like other stuff that's kind of bluesy, and like, and then there's other stuff that's kind of like indie pop or like indie rock and roll almost, and it's kind of like got some psychedelic influences. I think I listen to like all sorts of different music, like Bon Iver, like things ranging from like Bon Iver to like Pink Floyd. I also love like Tyler the Creator, like
totally,
what
yeah.
an amazing producer. Yeah.
Yeah, a whole range. I really do like nowadays that people kind of follow artists rather than just like their genre. It seems like that's maybe something that is evolving in the industry. At least I'd like to think too. I'm with you on that. So why the mandolin? How did you end up kind of finding that as your main instrument?
This was kind of serendipity with this whole thing. Like my friend Carlson gifted this to me, and I think he might have known that it's the same register as a violin, because I was like tracking some stuff on GarageBand with the violin, and I'm like, I use this like piece of foam, and like it's really not made to strum. And he said it without saying it, but he's like, oh, like dude, like here's this thing, that thing, you're gonna break your thing. This is a proper instrument for what you're doing. I had gifted him an audio interface so he could plug his guitar into the computer instead of using this, like, he had this crappy microphone. Like, it's not, like, that bad, but, like, you know, if you're shooting for consistency and something, like, really polished, you know, you want to get proper equipment. So I gave him this audio interface, and he came back and gave me this. And shortly after, we had a falling out. And that's been a huge, you know, strain on both of us and our friendship. So it's kind of like, this is this thing, and it's more than just like, I didn't like choose this, you know, but it just so happens that I'm familiar with how the instrument works and the keys that it plays in and stuff. Like,
yeah, well, maybe the mandolin chose you then.
Perhaps, you know, I don't know. I'm just here, you know, like I didn't, like it's like life happens. Like I try not to force anything to like exist in my life that isn't supposed to, or whatever.
Yeah, gotcha. So. Well, we'd love to hear your second song on the mandolin. So what have you got?
Sure. I'll do, what do I call this one? I change names of songs a lot. Maybe just, well.
Unnamed song number 2.
Unnamed song. This one's about Yeah, I don't know, you'll hear it. Maybe by the end I'll come up with a name.
All right.
At the end of the day, what are you doing to me? At the end of the day, swept up what the cat drug in. He's in love with the idea of what you could mean to him. I am the cigarette filling up your living room. Should've cleaned up that mess. Don't bring him in here. He's in that ashtray. Don't smoke him. Don't smoke him. Sober and red-faced with bruised fingertips. In the come down, feeling proud. Lay me down on a bed of ashes. Lay me down on a bed of ashes. At the end of the day, burn me to get high. Left hopeless shreds of loss of hope. In hopeless places makes escape easier to cope. Finally got that good cry out. Finished that show we used to talk about without dissonance. To be cognizant of what I could miss. Do what I can to fix what I can influence. Sober and red-faced with bruised fingertips. In the calm down, feeling proud. Lay me down on a bed of ashes. Lay me down on a bed of ashes. At the end of the day, you're in control of yourself alone.
Frank Erickson. So, any names come to mind for that one, or still in the process?
Ashtray Jerry.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's official now.
He's in that ashtray. Don't smoke him.
Exactly. All right. Well, you did mention that, you kind of started out recording your songs before focusing efforts, I guess, more on playing live.
Yeah.
And do you hope to pick up the whole recording thing again and make that a priority in the future?
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at that and be quick and forgiving, because like there's so much you can do when you're recording. Like you can bring it from like 30,000 feet up down to a microscopic level of the quality of production you want to put out, and so that can take a ton of time and knowledge and experience that I don't have. So I got to be crafty, or I got to pay people to do it for me that
Right.
have the knowledge and the skill and the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. Do you feel like you have like an idea for a project or an album, an EP or something that you would release of songs?
Oh, I think I have three distinct ones right now. I have one that's like um, just all of July, which is like this. I have this like idea, the cult of pretty girls. It's like this sort of realization I had about like kind of like the longing I have. I feel like I have this longing, and it's like it drives me kind of crazy because like it's like you meet people and like things don't work, or like your heart gets broken and then you're like out of commission for a long time because you got to heal. And I just, yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I'm trying to build like consistency in my life that draws in like less cult vibes and more like like healthy dynamics. And so there's that one. There's the cult of pretty girls one. There's the lonely winter stuff. And then there's like a fun pop punk one that I have an idea for. I just actually recorded something, put it on SoundCloud. That's called The Drunkest Frat Boy. And it's totally like it's just great. It's a fun summertime song, and I played the drums on it.
Cool.
It's for driving to like go to the beach and like roll the windows down. It's kind of like a carefree kind of pop punk song.
Yeah. So the way that you hear some of your songs in your head, do you feel like you kind of hear the other instruments? And then I guess in terms of like drums and such, which you seem like you put on your last song, are you doing that for like, do you imagine that with some of the other songs that you're mentioning?
Yeah, it's kind of like I get this feedback sometimes because I present as a singer-songwriter, and I'll share songs with people, and they'll be like, oh, dude, like, I hear like a band. I hear like a full band sound. Like let's work together. Let's try and do something. And like I have a lot of really generous, nice friends that are like offering things. But it's like, oh, but I don't really like hear it the same way you do. I don't think like I'm the band. Like, right. And people also ask that. They're like, are you in a band? It's like, no, like I'm the band. But yeah, it's always, the sound's always playing in my head, and that's what my process is when I'm recording something like The Drunkest Frat Boy. It just kind of comes out like, well, there's the rhythm part, and then I find a lead somewhere. I did a lead part, and then I even like pulled out kazoo and did some layering with the kazoo. Like, it's just like, I don't know, it's like cooking or something. It's like you do it to taste. I don't really have like anything really mechanical or mathematical in the structure of it. It's all by feel, and it's DIY. So like you got to just like at some point like, oh, it's good enough. It's fun. It's sound.
Totally. I mean, there's so much that you can do now just solo with even like digital instruments and all that. So yeah. Well, any like ideas for hoping to like release these projects at some point?
I've found that like times when I like really put an intention behind it, and I don't put the work in. And so then I was like, oh yeah, new music coming soon. And that like, I don't want to end up as that stereotype of like, oh, like just like keep on the lookout. Like there's like a meme about it, I think. like big things. That's what it is. It's like the big things coming soon. Like I've done that so many times. I feel like I'm trying to stop doing that. I think it'll happen, but right now it's a trickle of things. Mm-hmm. And anything I release right now, I've been putting just demo on it because it's not a finished product. I might like touch some things up or re-record some things, and then eventually like have it in a nice discrete product where I can be like, this is this EP, this is this project or this concept album. At the beginning of the summer, I had like a 10-song concept album from like last year, and since then like these 3 different EPs I sort of mentioned, I broke it up from there because that's just a daunting task for me right now.
Yeah. Like
10 songs. That's like at least going to be, if I'm really focused at it, it's got to be like 20 weeks.
Right.
So it's half the year.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to hear your third song. So what have you got?
Sure. This one is called Oceans and Puddles. And this is like one of these singer-songwriter kind of like anthems. My friend Phil like told me this about stuff. I was like, he's like, dude, you're like jumping in head first. You're gonna get hurt. Sometimes it's not that deep, and it's a puddle. You're looking for the ocean, and you're hitting your head on the ground. So, and then I wrote this. It was like it just came out. So. that long for a break from this cold and empty home. I stare at the screen as if there's someone for me there, but here I am, I'm still alone. I keep searching for oceans in puddles, call the Coast Guard 'cause I'm lost at sea. You see, my Piscean tendencies always break out of me. The worst part is all of the love. I wish you never asked to kiss me in front of my car under the stars when the moon was blind behind clouds, even though it's all that I want right now is for you to come home to my house. We can pour out our hearts to the sound, but it's muffled as we both search for our oceans in puddles. Yeah, but I'm trying the best that I can, even though it seems nothing is working out. Take my hand if you want, and I'm yours, but if not, I'll understand, 'cause I know you're not here for that. There's a silver line behind every thundercloud. I hope one day that I can make all of my loved ones proud. Yeah, and I'm trying the best that I can. Now sometimes it seems maybe it could work out, so I'll have to just go to every open mic and try again. If I make it big, I won't have to tell all my friends. Yeah, sometimes I wish I was Noah Khan, even though I hate that, and I'm never leaving Vermont. Yeah, and I'm trying the best that I can, even though it seems nothing is working out. Until then, I'll pour out my heart for your troubles as I search for oceans in puddles.
Oceans and Puddles, Frank Erickson. So as you've been collecting a bunch of these songs that you've been writing, do you feel like there are recurring themes that you see popping up in your songwriting?
Oh, definitely.
How do you think you've kind of evolved as an artist in that way?
Well, I'm trying to have more fun. I'm trying to write less sad songs.
It's hard though sometimes.
It's like, it's so hard, but it's like also, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are like this. They're like, oh, like now I'm going to play like 4 sad songs. And like, it's so important to music. It's a powerful art and outlet. And so I've been saying this to friends, like when we've been leaning on each other, and it's like shared joy is twice the joy. Shared sorrow is half the sorrow. And so that's sort of what I've been doing. I've been trying to respect what I do more and more and try and improve my writing and be more articulate. But yeah, there's definitely themes of longing and love and like, yeah, just the general sad, but it's okay. There's like optimism and hope there too, because like I'm working at this stuff. I'm trying to be better every day, and maybe not every day, but like I'm aspiring to try to be better every day.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we are running out of time, so we always like to give our guests the chance just to promote themselves. So where can people find your music? How can we best support you?
Probably right now my Instagram. It's, Frank Erickson on Instagram. I got a SoundCloud. I'm not sure that there's a name on there anymore. Well, it's my name, but like I'm not sure what you'd Google to find my SoundCloud. But it's on my Instagram under my like link thing. Other than that, I'm playing at the Albany General Store. That'll be like next Friday. I think that's the 23rd. So I'm doing that like 5 to 7 p.m. If you're like up in that neck of the woods.
Awesome.
I'd say check me out.
Yeah. And then as for like the open mics, which ones do you feel like you're doing kind of on a regular basis?
Oh yeah. Well, like I think I said this already, but Moogs in Morrisville, I'm there like every Thursday. I'm also at Lost Nation a ton. Like if there's like live music happening at Lost Nation Brewing, I'm gonna
You're
be there.
there.
I'm just there. I've been doing that like every week for like over a year. I think there's maybe been like 3 or 4 weeks I wasn't there, and half of those were cancellations anyway. So, yeah, I also like you could probably catch me at the Venetian again soon. I've just been focused on some other things the past couple weeks, but I like to go out there. I also like Despacito. Despacito's open mic is really cool. I like that guy over there, Vito. Vito does the sound, and the people are good. Yeah.
Totally. So at Lost Nation, are you just performing or are you also helping out with the shows? I feel like you mentioned that.
Oh yeah, I volunteer to like take the money at the door. And I like tell people like, I'm the doorman, but I'm so much more than the doorman. Because it's like, yeah, like I want to see my friends succeed. Like Phil and the brewer, Alan, I want to see their business succeed because it's in my community. It's right there. And so I support the things I believe in and care about. And I encourage everybody else to do the same thing. It's like, yeah, like you got to rep the set, like go places and shout out all the homies.
Yeah, totally. I love it. All right. Well, what's your last song tonight?
I think I'll do, yeah, I'll do this one. I'm not sure this one. Oh, I guess this one has a name. Come Back for You.
Smooth in the summertime.
back for you, Frank Erickson. Well, Frank, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Abby. This is a great opportunity, and I'd encourage everybody to tune in. This is a great show. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And everyone, make sure to stay up to date with Frank's music and all of the gigs that he'll be playing around town. And as for now, this has been Rocket Shop Radio Hour. I'm your host, Abby BK. There is no Rocket Shop next week, but the following week on August 28th, we will have Jacob Green in the studio, so make sure to tune in then. But thanks so much for listening. This has been Rocket Shop Radio Hour. Good night. Woo!
Cool.
And now it's the big sigh of relief.
Yeah, geez. Oh, I wish I'd...